choice. We are all telling ourselves a story. You're listening to Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com. 100% listener-supported radio. Reporting to danger. Unafraid. Right here, where information never sleeps. Revolution Radio!
Enjoy your extra big-ass fries.
You didn't give me no fries. I got an empty box.
Would you like another? Extra big-ass fries.
I said I didn't get any.
Thank you. Your account has been charged. Your balance is 0. Please come back when you can afford to make
no,
a purchase.
no.
I'm sorry you had
Come
to go.
on.
I'm sorry you had to go.
Starving.
Thank you for tuning in to Revolution Radio. Here at Revolution Radio, we believe in freedom of ideas, freedom of speech, but above all, we believe in freedom of existence for self-human rights. This station is 100% listener supported, and as a fundraising promotion, I have a kick-ass free gift for a $100 donation. 35,000 seeds. 25 years with a Fraser. Long-term storable, 54 different varieties. So if the prices go crazy, the tickets to fan, or if you just want to save tons of money every year by creating your own food like I do, grab our seed pack special. Just look for the banner on the homepage at freedomslips.com. Don't be a statistic. Don't be part of the problem. Be part of the solution. We need as humans to start taking care of ourselves and not depending on the megacorps to provide unhealthy, nasty food. Included in this package is also a DVD with 900 survival and off-grid living documents and the offline foam canning, how to do everything website, all on the DVD. So when you're growing all that food, you know how to can it, store it, preserve it, etc. with all these documents. So thank you for tuning in to Revolution Radio at freedomslips.com. I hope that you will pick up this package and start learning to be free. Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, where information never sleeps and freedom is one seed that needs to be planted. What are we doing live? Here goes the The opinions expressed on this radio station, its programs, and its website by the hosts, guests, and call-in listeners or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. They do not necessarily represent the opinions of Revolution Radio and freedomslips.com, its staff, or affiliates. You're listening to Revolution Radio, freedomslips.com, 100% listener-supported radio, and now we return you to your host.
Welcome back to the Freedom of Joy Show. I'm Terry Joyce, your host on Revolution Radio. I just also want to do a quick plug too, also for Revolution Radio. We are the #1 listener-supported radio network on the internet, and please do support us and keep us doing these shows here. And thank you so much for supporting us as well. I have a question. We're down to our last half hour. With me is Lori Buckley, co-hosting. Thank you for being here, Lori. Are you having fun?
I am. You know, when I'm quiet, it's because I'm listening. And I want to just say for a moment, Terry, you're doing such a great job and helping us to understand. And Eddy, you're coming through loud and clear, because none of us understand always what has happened to other people. But the fact that you have the courage to stand up and share with us your life and deal with the people that do the pot shots, and we all know they're there, but we also, what's great about this network is that it allows the freedom of speech and people to express themselves, and both of you are doing a tremendous job in dealing with a very challenging subject, one which none of us want to think it's true, but if it is, we want to hear about somebody who had to deal with it. Well, so I commend you both.
I do find that I'm very interested in the topic. And since I've met Eddy, I even worked into it. I looked more into it, and I thought it was unusual that Eddie's saying that a lot of people thought this was over with, and he's saying that it's happening, and then he's also bringing in the preschool aspect of it, which nobody's ever really heard about it. And Eddie, if you could bring, if your friend would be willing to talk about his experiences too, then I feel that would be something really, really positive. And also, any other friends that are in your age group that are claiming that they were a part of the Montauk Project at the same time. So I do want to ask you, a lot of people who, this is a common thing. If your family's in the military, or your family maybe worked at Brookhaven, is any of that true? Do you have any? Is your mom and dad in the military, or did they ever work at Brookhaven before?
Ooh, hold on a second. Ooh, I just got a really bad chest pain. Hold on.
Okay. All right. Hopefully he's okay. He's claiming that he has a really bad chest pain, so we'll just give him some really positive energy and hope that he's okay.
That's right.
So, and maybe he'll come back here in just a second. Also, if anybody does want to call into the show, obviously we know that my call-in number works for Studio A, and that is area code 347 688 2902. And he's really young. That's 27 is a young age to have a thing. For somebody to have a chest pain at that young. So again, if you'd like to Skype me, actually, I have somebody who does want to come onto the show. I'm gonna actually add him to the show here in just a moment. Or maybe he'll call me. But I know somebody who does want to come in to the show. And why is it acting different? Oh, I see what I'm doing. Okay, here I could just do this. All right, I'm calling him right now. I think Stephen D. Kelly wants to come on to the show and add a few questions here. Steve, I guess I'd let people know Stephen already. He's another host here on Revolution Radio. Welcome to the show, Stephen. How are you?
Oh, hey there. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can. Thank you for coming back. And Eddy, are you feeling better? I just saw that you came back.
I just got messed with. My mind, you know what I mean? Like pains, you know what I mean? It's like when I start talking about this stuff.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm programmed not to talk about it. But
okay.
I gotta fight it.
Well, we do have Stephen D. Kelly here. He has been listening to the show. And Stephen, do you have any questions or comments that you want to make?
Well, I wanted to bring up McMartin Preschool, which was an event that happened out here in California where there was allegedly satanic abuse took place, and of course it went to trial, and many kids were put on the stand and testified, and obviously they were very young, so their testimony was discounted. But the big thing that was really important was the fact that it was the school that was on trial. The trial wasn't about the experience of the children. The trial was about the school and the leadership of the school and how they did that. So I think that's really, really important, because if the story here isn't really what goes on underground and all that, but it's how these people on the surface, in positions of confidence, are able to, take advantage of people. Now, so we have to ask: is it just the student? Is it just the teachers? Is this a conspiracy? Was this involved? Was this connected to Brookhaven National Labs, or were the parents involved in the military? A lot of times the parents go along with this because they're involved, and they're all part of it, and that's because of either some sort of satanic thing or some military thing or who knows what. But this is why it's so important that, Eddy, you got to think about, you got to name the names. Those of us that are in the truth movement, you look at me, I've got my face all over the place, and sure, they want to kill me, they can do it anytime they want, but that's the price that we pay for helping everyone to learn the truth. So I really hope that you'll think about telling us more about the school and about the teachers, and we can look and say, is that school still there? Are they still doing this? What can be done about that? And if that's the case, that's where we can really fight these people. What do you think about that?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, my grandfather was in the Air Force in in the Hamptons. And me and him have never really had a good relationship. But he had also, when he was in the Air Force in Texas, and he got transferred out here, he had ended up getting, I don't know who's, one of the people that were also involved in the Air Force, one of their girlfriends pregnant, and he never did any, you know what I mean? He never took care of the kid, or, so maybe what they did was they used me, and did stuff to me because of that, kind of getting back at him.
Okay, yeah, they keep it in the family, usually, that's right.
Yeah. Do you feel at some point that you would be able to, say what the school is that you went to, or do you feel that, like your friend that you say, it also was that, did your friend go to the same preschool as you did?
Yes, he did, and I'm gonna talk to him, and I'm gonna see if he'll get on here and talk himself as well.
And do you think that like maybe like two of you together, you would feel, comfortable to come out and say, hey, because again, I think what Stephen is suggesting is, the only way to really get over fear and be empowered with something is to like completely own it and come out with the complete truth. And just say, I have this, these are the facts. We believe that this is going on. Perhaps there should be an investigation. Is it still continuing? Do you think it, maybe it's, if it happened to you, when has this program really stopped for children? If that's the case.
I've also had friends that have went up, because, as of now it's a state park. But they went up there and they said that they've woken up, and I'm talking about numerous people, that they woke up at the train station in their own vehicles, and they were walking around the park, and they don't remember what happened to them.
Got a little bit of a whistle there. Can you just bring your volume down just a little tiny, like maybe usually for me, if I make my volume on my end, my listening volume about halfway down, you won't get that kind of little feedback going on.
That better?
Yeah. So are you feeling better? I just want to make sure you're okay.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It happens all the time when I start talking about this stuff. This nasty stuff.
Do you think? Is there another facility that you feel that you might have been taken to other than Point Huron?
Like I said, I don't remember. I remember going to Brookhaven, but I want to say it was like with a family of a friend that worked there. But I don't remember what happened when I was in there.
Are you saying that there was a family of a friend that worked at Point Huron?
No, at Brookhaven.
At Brookhaven.
Brookhaven, yeah, it was security. I don't think he works there anymore. I'm gonna check into that though.
Okay.
Because I don't remember. I remember going there. I remember the front of it, Brookhaven Lab. I remember all that, but I don't remember, what actually happened inside.
There are a lot of people, again, the older generation of people that were in Montauk, we see them. We they put their face to what they're talking about. And so, and they're still here talking about it. Why is it that you feel like the need to be more protective of your identity at this point? Is it because of the fact that it was a preschool type deal? Is it because of the fact that you feel that you might be put under the in front of people and say, hey, it is this school? Are people afraid that you're going to out them? Is that what's going on? Why is it that that you are afraid of, or that or also you said I have a physical, they're attacking me physically for giving this information out. What is it about this information that you feel you're being attacked for? Because like honestly, like the talking about Montauk, or people having been on Montauk, they publicly have interviews. You see their face on the interview, and they actually speak at summit forums, and then they disclose their
That's not
identity.
true at all. That's not true at all. Because
But
if you watch Montauk Chronicles, at the end of the movie, there's a guy in a mask. So that's not true at all.
why did that guy choose it? What, in your opinion, why did he
don't
choose to
know.
wear a
That's not
mask?
my business. Some people, they're like that. You got to understand. You know what I mean? And I mean, for me, yeah, I'm afraid, that, they're gonna try. They're afraid I'm gonna out them. That's why I keep getting, them chest pains and then feelings and then headaches and, I get really dizzy and, I believe that I'm getting triggered, you know what I mean, to do the wrong things. But I'm fighting that. I don't want to go along with it. I don't want to go along with it. Well, like, for instance, last night, I remember I was going through all kinds of craziness. I was having like really negative energies come at me, and when I went to sleep, it was like all of a sudden I woke up and I was in a room, a dark room, dim lights, like 3 or 4 computers. I remember a guy in a lab coat, long white hair, glasses, real about 5'5", and I saw like a trip chair in the room, and they were looking at me as I'm strapped down in the trip chair, and they were saying to me, "Ha ha ha! You finally woke up, you little piece of you know what." And laughing at me and basically telling me, in other words, don't do what you're doing tomorrow.
But I find this kind of, I mean, honestly, I mean, I would think that some of the interviews that you've done with other people would have been more important. I mean, I'm just a comedian. Like I don't really, I don't know what about my show that would really set anything really apart from anything else that I feel that you've done so far. So I find that kind of fascinating. But anyway, neither here nor there. Um, what I mean, what is your goal? What is your intent by coming on the show and wanting to get this information out? What is it that you want to express or achieve by coming forward and telling your story to people?
For family, for parents to watch their children, closely, because I mean, I'm not sure off the top of my head how many children in America get abducted every year, and they say that it's rapist and this and that, when meanwhile, a lot of this could be, and it is the government, and and I believe the military, and they're using kids today, or raping kids, to keep a close eye on your kids because of what I know happened to me, and it's sad. It's very, very sad.
Well, we're basically getting down to the last 10 minutes of the show, and we won't have the full 10 minutes because we'll leave a little bit earlier. Stephen, did you thank you for calling in this last half hour. Is there anything else that you want to ask or add to the show?
Well, I just think that if you you want to really protect children, it's really important to name names. And if there's a school and it's still in operation and there are adults that are actually still doing this and are part of this, they need to be brought out, because we can't do anything about what's going on underground in the dark under the rocks that we can't see, but we can do something about the stuff that's going on in the daylight. And those of us that are light warriors, that's where we do our best work, in the daylight, and that's what we do. We shine the light of truth into these dark subjects. So this is why it's not a good idea to hide and to have fear, because the lack of fear is our greatest strength when we're dealing with the evil ones. And obviously we're dealing with evil ones here, so my advice to you, Eddy, is to lose the fear, get strong, and bring the fight to them. And what are they going to do? You know, I mean, what can they do? They can only kill you once, so go for it.
How do you feel about that, Eddy?
I do, but, you know, I feel like at a certain point, you know what I mean, when I feel comfortable.
Okay. All right. You know, I feel, I mean, again, I mean, here's the deal. Revolution Radio, this very network, kind of pretty much sticks its neck out. Just simply the fact that those of us that are doing shows on this network and bringing certain types of information. Stephen, didn't you wasn't there something where it said like mainstream media is now concerned about our media? They made a public announcement about that.
Yeah. Well, they're saying how the mainstream media is so in fear of the growing power of our voices, of the alternative media here in the so-called social networking media. So yeah, this is important, and there are a lot of people that listen to this stuff, whether you believe it or not, and it does go out on the YouTube, and it's going to be out there forever. So it is important, noble work.
Yeah, it is, and a lot of us are you know, we get attacked. This network gets attacked. We get attacked as individuals. You know, I mean, I could sit here and tell a story to people that they would go, what? And sometimes I try and they say, what? And I'm like, never mind. Because they don't really understand. You know, a lot of the people just, they don't understand what might be happening. But all of us stand here in the face of all of that, whether we're, you know, some of us are broke because of it. Some of us are, I mean, we've been damaged from say, for basically putting our face to what we talk about. And so, you know, my thought is, I'm happy to have, I'm glad you did the show, and I thank you for being here again. But you know, I feel that in order to take this to, like Stephen said, my thought, I agree. If you want to take this to the next level, you really want to like make it so it doesn't happen to people anymore. I mean, you know, if we're talking about kids being abducted, or, you know, families, you know, giving, you know, your family being in on it. I mean, let's face it. I mean, you know, all of this, you know, we have to, you know, put our face to this. You know, I mean, my thought is like, what do we have to lose by telling the truth? If there is a preschool that is taking 4 years old to see, you know, do whatever to them, that's some serious, disgusting stuff. And you know, at some point you say, am I a whistleblower, the real deal, and I'm going to stand in it and take whatever risk I might get? I mean, let's even look at Edward Snowden, whether you want to think he's real or COINTELPRO or whatever. He doesn't live in this country anymore because of it. I mean, sometimes we have to sacrifice a part of ourselves, and some of that self actually puts our own very lives at risk. To say, I mean, I don't live a life where and I'm nobody. I'm not Stephen D. Kelly. I mean, I'm not saying he's better than me, but I mean, I mean, you know, I mean, I never worked, I'm not an ex-CIA NSA contractor that, you know, has been involved on the inside of any of this kind of dealings. I can say I worked in show business and I'm on that inside. Yeah. But, you know, so we all come from a different plane of self, but just, you know, stand. I mean, I look behind my shoulder once in a while. I have my things tapped and weirdness and stuff, and I don't know who is who. And so, you know, simply because I'm even talking about things, because that's how afraid our world is, that we will have influence on the minds of other people. But at the same time, that's the power that you have. That's the power of change that we are able to do. And so, I think that there are a lot of people that are concerned that maybe Montauk is still going on. And so if it is, then please, I invite you to come back and bring your friends, and let's, and take further steps. But anyway, I do want to applaud you for having the courage to be here today and tell your story and be on the show, because that's the first step. And I want to thank Lori Buckley for being here and co-hosting and supporting me and the show. And I also want to thank Stephen D. Kelly for calling in and being part of it too. I'm Terry Joyce. I'll be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. And thank you so much for listening. All right, we're done.
Okay.
It was really good.